Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all at another Power Pack session under the banner of Rise Jhansi Incubation Center. So, where ideas rise and leaders are built. So, today we are diving into a topic that forms the backbone of every successful startup, that is sales psychology and follow up mastery. So, whether we are pitching to investors, connecting leads, or scaling your business, understanding the human sides of sales is what makes all the differences. So today we have a special mentor for this, and who is bringing decades of experience, insights, and inspiring to the startup ecosystems. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Nitin Mistry, sir, once again, and a highly respected business coach and mentor. So, sir, we are truly honored to have you with us today again, and we all ears and eagers to learn from your journey and wisdom. So, thank you so much,
Thank
sir,
you.
for connecting with us. And last session, there's a lot of startups for join, and they just suggest us that we want again such type of mentor who just gave us a very practical things. So, welcome, sir, again for the session, and stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you share the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I think this is my third session with Rise Jhansi, and I feel always very happy. And people are very participative participants, and they are actively get involved. So anyway, we have already delayed our session, so let's not go too much in detail. Let's
Yeah.
start our today's subject: sales psychology and follow-up mastery. Uh, Before we actually dive into it, let us understand what is self psychology. See, a couple of days back only, I had the similar session. That session was nearly for 1 day on the similar topic. So I made a big presentation as well as a few notes. So today I thought maybe when we have the similar topic, let's not uh, keep the people away from the information whatever I have. So some of the things I will share through my slides, and some I will refer my notes, because I think it is very important, and I think everybody will get benefited with this. So let's start with the sales psychology. See, sales isn't it's not just about selling the product or service what you are offering to customer. It's about understanding human behavior and how you influence your customer to create a genuine connection with potential buyers. So that is what we are trying to talk about, the sales psychology. Now, sales psychology is nothing but the understanding the emotional and psychological triggers which will motivate customer, and finally it comes into a decision of purchasing. That means it makes a purchase decision. So this is all about the sales psychology. Now we come to the second part of it. What is follow-up mastery? So once you establish the initial connection, now it becomes very crucial to stay in the top of the mind of your customers through some kind of strategic follow-ups, right? So mastering the art of follow-up means using psychology to drive action and move the sales forward. That means the what we have initiated the sales, if we have to move it forward, that is what is known as a follow-up. Let's go to the next slide. See, now before we actually go into we have to understand the three businesses. One is a B2B, second is B2C, and third one is B2G, right? So let's understand what it is. So B2B, that means business to business, right? So here the decisions are more on a logical platform. It is the data driven, and it is influenced through a relationship. That is the main difference, right? So what psychology plays over here? The psychology is based on building a trust, providing a value, and showing or demonstrating the return on investment, right? So this is what how the B2B, or I mean in business to business, these are the factors what we have to take into consideration. Now, what are the emotional triggers in this case? Emotional triggers could be reassurance, long-term partnership, and long-term collaboration, right? Now, if we come to B2C, business to customer, I will try to skip this for the time being because the entire other presentation is based on B2C only. So I will just mention the two type B2B and B2G to have an overall idea. Now coming to the B2G part of it, that is business to government. Now, this is actually a process. A B2G business is a process which is absolutely formal. It is highly formal. It is bureaucratic and based on strict compliances, right? So the decision cycle is long term here, right? The psychology, what it says, that how the product or services offered by you, how it aligns with the government needs. That is one of the psychology over here, right? Second thing, how best you are meeting the compliances, and third one, how cost effective you are. So these are the three psychology. What are the trigger factors of this? One could be how credible you are as a supplier, or what is your proven track record. So that also plays important. And finally, the trust. The company or government should feel you can be a trustworthy supplier. So this is the three, B2B, B2C, and B2G aspect of it, right? Now, let's go to the next slide, right? So B2B customers prioritize on long-term partnership, as we already have told, on requiring consistent engagement, and they require a tailor-made solution. That means your standard solution will not be helpful. They require as per their own requirement. So you have to supply something, either a product or service, but tailored to their requirement. So this is the B2B aspect of it. Now, B2C characteristic, that is what I think we are going to now discuss the entire presentation on this. So, this is first thing could be emotional impact. That means B2C customer often make purchasing decision based on their emotional responses, based on brand connection, how your brand is connected, and prioritizing relatable experience over mere product specification. That means just product specification will not be enough, but what is their experience on that? And convenience of focus. The B2C customer will value a purchase offer favoring streamline on shopping experience. That means if you go to Amazon, suppose if I have to give you an online business, so once you go to the Amazon site, your purchasing experience is very seamless, very smooth. And even tomorrow, if you want to reorder the things, the process is very streamlined. So that kind of online purchase experience, that is nothing but a convenience. So that is a characteristics of the B2C customers, right? Now, characteristic of B2G customers, right? One, you have to be absolutely in line with the regularity. So compliances have to be fulfilled. Then it is a long sales cycles. Then there will be a budget constraint because always a government will have a limited budget, and the purchasing decision more or less based on the price. We always say bidding and the lower L1 kind of things. Then it requires absolutely transparency. Transparency is the key of that. That means all documentation and everything has to be absolutely clear. So unless that clarity is not there, perhaps you will not be able to, click the deal. Then public sector focus. That means all their service and product must align with the public service objective of that. So that is very important, right? Competitive bidding, you will not be the alone. There will be similar kind of people. They will call for a tender and there will be bidding, and the person or the supplier who meets all the requirements, right from the specification, requirement, compliances, meet cost, everything, those people will get the business. Then relationship building, and here, if you can create a good rapport with official, maybe it affects your purchasing decision also. And innovation, that means very every time the government needs, if you can offer an innovative solution, maybe you get more priority or you get priority of this. Let's go to the next one. So if I have to summarize this, B2B or B2C, an audience difference, if you see on a B2B side, The decision making typically involves multiple stakeholders because you are doing with the corporate or we are doing with the business. So there will not be a single person to decide. There could be a jury, there can be a team, there could be a committee who will make a decision. So typically it will involve multiple stakeholders and perhaps the decision will take little longer time. So that is one aspect of it. Then relationship focus. That means you have to ensure a long-term relationship for any kind of sales. Unless and until you are long-time player, you will not get B2B deals or B2B getting a business is little difficult. On the other hand, if you try to become a B2C, then what happens? You are dealing with an individual, a single customer, right? So you have to create a kind of emotional appeal to this customer. And that's why emotional appeal will be a most important key factor, right? And because it is only one decision maker, and if you try to convert or convince him on an emotional and psychological ground, maybe he is able to make a quick decision. So this is the two major difference between a decision making from the B2B side and B2C side, right? Let's go to the next. Now, I have made a small comparison. I think that will give you a very correct idea of this. This is a B2B column, this is B2C column, this is B2G, and what is the key characteristic. So if you take a customer type, then this could be a business houses. This B2C can be individual customers, and B2G will be government entities. And what will be key characteristics? Long-term relationship. Everybody is talking about a long-term characteristic. Sales process, B2B, because it's a business house, it's little bit longer, it's little bit complex, it is more system oriented. If you go to B2C, it is shorter, it is more impulsive. If an individual get convinced or he feel desired, maybe he make a buying decision or purchasing decision immediately. So it is shorter decision, impulsive. Then if you go to government, B2G, it's a lengthier operation. It requires multiple approvals at multiple stages. So it takes time. So, but what is the key characteristics? Unless it is a volume driven sales, that is a bigger deal, then only perhaps B2B or B2G comes into picture. Decision making, as we mentioned, in B2B, it could be multiple stakeholder, B2C only individual or maybe a group of people or family members. In B2G, absolutely bureaucratic organization kind of bureaucratic structures. And this is larger contracts. That means if some kind of government contracts, maybe building a bridge or creating a highways, those kind of things are a B2G kind of things. Typical purchase size as B2B, high value, bulk purchases. B2C could be lower value, one of the purchase. B2G, as we mentioned, it varies, but it is always substantial. It is very big, something like a contract kind of things, a big decision, and it is always controlled by regulation. So it is a regulation driven purchase, right? Now here onwards, whatever we are going to talk, this is about the individual. This is, we are talking B2C. We have already talked about B2B and B2G. Now we are not going any more in details. Now we are going B2C. Why I choose B2C more? Because I think you, most of the people are here startup owners, and when you start your business, maybe your product and service will be more aligned to an individual need, a little less for the B2B kind of things, right? So one is create an emotional appeal, right? Unless and until you create an emotional appeal with your prospective customers, maybe in terms of storytelling or something, you have to trigger some kind of a emotion into your customer, then he get influenced and his buying decision will be influenced. And second thing, their psychology works. Suppose if you show the testimonial or if you show some kind of case studies, so they will believe more in that kind of thing because they will always think, oh, somebody has already used and he's happy with this. Suppose tomorrow, if we want to go to some resort or some other places or maybe somewhere outside, and if you have to book an hotel, what we do, we always see the reviews and we see how people find maybe the how the rooms are, how the room service, how the staff, what is the courtesy, how the other amenities are there. So social proof becomes a very important aspect of a sales cycle, right? Let's go to the next one. Understanding the buyer behavior, right? One is you have to emotionally trigger maybe his decision, or his behavior will be influenced by emotions. Then, as we discussed, social proof, that means you can use a customer testimonial, or you can give some reviews, or you create through all these things a kind of trust and a credibility of your product or your service. Then scarcity tactic, you know, you have to create a sense of urgency by showcasing that this is the limited time offer, or this it will last only till the stock lasts. So some kind of, you have to create that FOMO kind of feeling in your customer, that is feeling of missing out. So always, if you say this is only weekend, this sale will be available only for this Friday. So if you create some kind of urgency, it will also create a kind of feeling in a customer, and that scarcity kind of tactics will also influence the customer behavior towards the purchase, right? Then personalization, always you have to send a message to a customer, either in the form of a social media messages, or maybe email, or any kind of SMS. The Your customer should feel it is so much personalized. He should feel that it is meant for him. So that kind of personalization contact or the engagement will also influence the decision toward purchase. And follow strategy, once the customer show interest in your product or service, you have to do some kind of follow, and that follow up also have a strategy. You just cannot keep multiple calls to your customer, otherwise instead of getting influence, he will get little annoyed. So again, there is a follow-up strategy. So if you do all these things, so you can understand the buyer's behavior. Okay, let's go to the next. See, this is again the role of emotional insights. I have just summarized it because whatever you say, identify emotional triggers such as fear of missing out, I say scarcity kind of things. Use this emotional trigger to craft powerful marketing messages. That means you create a personalized message. Apply storytelling techniques. Either you create a story of a customer who has already used the product, or how you launched this product, or how this product was invented, or how your brand has emerged, or how your company has evolved. All this kind of story, the people will get connected with it, and that will create and influence a customer towards the buy, and make your product or service align more closely with the need and dream. See, don't try to push the product as what you have, but always try to, even the product is same, but you try to convert, try to talk, try to have a dialogue with your customer, and try to understand his need, and try to talk about your product or service where the customer feels that okay, this product or service exactly meeting my needs. So you have to convert and see that your product or service exactly align with customer needs. This is how mental biases affect decision making. One is a social proof, as already I said, that we have to use testimonial or case studies, which will always create some kind of trust and belief. Scarcity, again, we say that you have to create a scarcity kind of approach. Anchoring, this is very important. What is anchoring? See, what happens when you are creating a sale? People always have a original price 3000 rupees, they scratch it and say now it is available at 500 rupees. So people feel the value is that, oh, 3000 rupees item I'm getting at 500. So you make that thing is absolutely attractive for the customer, so that will also push customers toward the buying. Loss aversion, that means people should feel that suppose if this Friday, if I don't go and I don't purchase, maybe I will miss out. So I will have a loss. So he will feel that some of my friends will buy, but I will not be able to purchase it. So that kind of loss will again provoke, or they will always motivate or inspire customer to go for your product. Reciprocity, you know what is that? Maybe you try to offer a small product or service as a sample. Suppose if you are creating some apps, you can say my app you can use entire feature for 2 days. After 2 days that app will be disabled, but you make within that 2 days, so much the customer habitual to your product that finally he will definitely require it. He will create a desire. Your product, your application will create desire in your customer to buy or to go for it. So that is a reciprocity. Commitment. Commitment is something like that. That once the customer has agreed upon the small aspect of it, you try to get into, that is we call as a foot into the door. That means once the customer show a small willingness and ready to try something, you try to get very close to the customer and see that from the small buy he will go for a big buy. So that is how the commitment. And framing, always you create and frame your product, the benefits rather than the feature. What is there for customer, the benefits, you show it in a very positive manner. And everything should be outcome oriented. Outcome means what customer is going to benefit, how customer is going to benefit, what customer gets out of it. So this is the mental biases. Okay, again, how the sales will happen unless and until you build a rapport with the customer. So active listening. Suppose if you have an opportunity to talk with your customer, always listen very actively. While listening, you will get exactly the idea of what they need, how they need, what is his desire, what is his pain point, what is his problem, and what exactly his requirement. And once you show an active listening, the opposite person sitting or maybe the customer feel that you absolutely understand and you care for his requirement. So that is again a creative, a positive impact, and a one step toward building a rapport, right? Personalization, as I say, suppose if you happen to know his name, always when you talk, say, so Mr. So and so or Miss so and so, always. So you always mention their name or some of their things. They feel absolutely feel connected, or some kind of personalization will create a kind of the feeling that, oh, he know the moment you walk into suppose a showroom, and if you have visited before and if you have given your name, and if the salesperson and say hello Mr. So and so, you feel absolutely elated. So this is also kind of creating a rapport with your customer. And follow, if you can, after initial conversation or initial engagement, if you try to follow up the customer and always give them maybe a new feature, new thing about the product, or show more interest, and then say these are the feature, this is how you will be benefited, again that will also help you create a help in creating a big rapport. Again, persuasion technique, how you pursue, once the initial things are happen, you try to give social proof. That means testimonial on that, or making customer some kind of social media. Suppose if you have engagement or so many people have visited, in naptol kind of thing, if you see somewhere on TV, they always try to give itne logon ne kharid liya hai, abhi itna logon ne kiya, itne satisfied customer hai. So some kind of social proof, either through social media or somewhere, you create a data and try to give. So that is again a persuasion technique, and you can influence the customer. And again, scarcity principle, same. Always say it is a limited offer, only available for Saturday, Sunday, or only on Friday, or something like that. So you create some kind of urgency in that, and that will motivate a potential customer for purchase. What is a scarcity psychology, right? Once you create an urgency, then you say it is available limited, I mean limited availability, limited time, or limited stock. So people feel that, oh, I will be missed out. So that will create again some kind of desire into that. Exclusive access, suppose in Flipkart they have a big billion day, so actually sales start at 8 o'clock, but for the common people it is at 10 o'clock. But the people who are members or privileged customers, they will get a chance between 8 to 10. So most of the people think that the person who get earlier chance, he will pick up all the good things. So exclusive accesses will create also some kind of craving, some kind of missed out feeling, and that will also make a lot of influence in purchasing decision. Countdown timers, always whatever you say, but suppose on your website or on your marketing thing, suppose if you say only 3 hours left, 2 hours 59 minutes, 2 hours 58 minutes. So you try to create some kind of anxiety in customer. Oh my god, I have to do it something, it is only 2 hours. So countdown timers also can create a some kind of psychological effect on highlight demand. You know, always they say, अभी like a नापतोल kind of purchase. They say पिछले 1 घंटे में 14 लोगों ने परचेज कर लिया, अभी पिछले 1 घंटे में 15 लोगों ने परचेज. You start saying that. That means it creates. Oh, people are buying. That means the product must be genuine or something. So you create some kind of demand highlight and seasonal promotion. Many times what happened before summer, air conditioning supplier or the vendors, they will say, if you buy in February, we'll get the same air conditioner which available in April will be at say 30,000 rupees, now 20% off or 10% off. So that is a kind of seasonal promotion. Or after the season is over, they want to get rid of the stock, so they always say seasonal sale. So those kind of thing also will push or attract the customers. Last chance alerts. Maybe you can start sending a notification. This is the last chance. Only few units are available. If you don't buy it, you will miss it. So that kind of thing also kind of create a scarcity psychology and social proof. That means you share the testimonial and say these people have bought during this sale and they are quite happy. You start saying, sharing the customer feedback. So these are all kind of a psychology. You play with the customer. Again, when you want to do a sale, it is very essential, very important. You have to understand customer need absolutely correctly. So how you will understand customer need? You have to listen actively. Then if you don't understand or if you have a doubt, you can ask some questions and try to get more detail. By asking question, the customer will feel, oh, he's interested, he wants to know more about my requirement. That means definitely they care for my requirement. Then tomorrow, if they buy something and if they give feedback, it is important for us to understand and analyze the feedback and try to thank customer. Thank you for this feedback. We will definitely work upon it, and now we will improve. Suppose if there is an improvement suggestion or somewhere some feature upgradation, you try to do. So always feedback is very important. So feedback is nothing but a customer needs, because that is what they found a shortcoming in your product or service. Use customer profile, right? Customer profile means, suppose if you are doing an online business, you will come to know the demographic, the area wise, or what age group people are actually doing. So based on this, you can create a customer profile and you can tailor made your offering to suit to this particular segment of the customers, right? Monitor competitors. Many times what happens, you don't know what exactly your customer is requiring. But if you observe your monitor, and if you observe your competitors, what will happen? The way competitors start making their product upgradation or bringing new product also gives you indirect indication what is the customer's taste changing, or what is the customer, how the customer's requirement or the need is changing. So sometimes if you monitor your competitors also will give you a fair idea of customer needs. And of course, if you create a periodic surveys of customers and always you say what best or what next you want to see in our product, or how best or what is the next product you are desiring or looking for. So those kind of surveys also will give you a customer needs. Okay, listening skill and its impact, we always say, because if you listen absolutely with attention, it will create a good, or it will build a rapport. Then you can understand their needs better. And if you uh, listen them very carefully and in deep, it creates a very good engagement, and it will help in closing the deal. So this is how the listening skill will, it will help. Social proof also, customer reviews will help. Case studies, if you show some customers case studies, that will also create some kind of trust in your product. Social media mentions, positive social media feedback also can create, a kind of influence customer for their purchasing decision, because nowadays we people are very social, and we always believe a similar kind of people, our group, our tribe, and we always learn from their experience. Even while booking the hotel, we always try to read the reviews, because we always believe the person who has gone before, how his experience is. So sometimes, social media mentions also very important. Then user statistics. So you can provide, because if you have a online or you have collect the data, you can provide some kind of statistics. How many people, how many satisfied customers are there? How, I mean, you can try to show more positive data so that it will influence. Suppose if you have some celebrity or some influencer, especially Instagram, people are influencers. So if you try to collaborate and if they try to endorse your product or your service, maybe that will also kind of, it is also kind of social proof. Then engagement metrics. We'll come to the engagement metrics later on in a separate portion. But you have to see that what engagement metric is nothing but your popularity and effectiveness of your product or service. Community involvement. Always try to see that more and more people have active participation, or maybe a user community you can create. Because nowadays social media you can do a lot of things, because for online or e-commerce kind of thing people are doing, because it is totally digital and you are having lot of data. It is only your imagination how you use that those data and present to the customer in such a form that they feel absolutely attracted and get biased and then get attracted towards your product and service. And pressure of scarcity, that I think we have discussed number of times here, right? Now, what is follow-up mastery and what are the essential of follow-up? First, timely responses. Suppose if customer sent any inquiry on your online platform, you have to reply their inquiry absolutely within time, as soon as possible. That is a timely response. Second thing, if the initial engagement has been done, then you people also have to follow up your customer and say, sir, you have visited our place, you shown interest in this product, and I just want to know what is your next, do you require anything more, some more information or something, how can I, or when you are planning something like that. So you keep follow up and trying create some kind of dialogue and connection and keep that sales inquiry alive, right? Personalization. As I say, you can make a customized email or customized messages or some kind of thing so that people feel that it is meant for them and you care for them so much personally. Okay, value addition. Suppose when somebody has have a initial conversation, you might not have discussed the every aspect of your product or service, but you might have kept on hold certain features, certain value added features. So that you try to during follow up, you try to say, sir, we also have this in this product. This product can also do this. This software can do all this. So that kind of value addition will also keep engage the customer, and it will create interest and the interest remain alive. Then multi-channel approach. Just one kind of follow-up is not required. I mean, you can write an email, then maybe you can say a SMS, then maybe on WhatsApp message. Call should be the last, because most of the people think call is intruding in their privacy, and most of the people are get offended by the calls, some cold calling. So sometimes you send an email, then maybe an SMS, then maybe a WhatsApp message if you happen to have their numbers, and then if nothing works or something, maybe the last resort could be a call. But call, unless and until you create a second, third level of engagement with the customer, I would advise not to call somebody without their permission. What is a strategy? Personalized message, as we discussed. Set timely reminders. That means after one follow up, maybe after 1 week or so, again you try to follow up them, but make a very polite and very gentle reminder. People should not feel that you are following them brutally. Then instead of creating an interest, people will get averse and they will disconnect with you, right? And as I said, keep offer value proposition, maybe first time something, second time something, third time something, so you keep their interest alive. So that is the follow-up strategy, right? Timing of the follow-ups. Initial contact, follow-up within 24 hours, make a personalization. Identify optimal. Always, if you are making a call or something, never call in the afternoon, never call in the late evening, never call in the early morning. You have to decide. All marketing people and sales people in their sales training, always, even to visit a customer, what time, if you have to call, what time you have to call. So all this timing is also very important, right? And of course, soft reminders. That means whenever you try to send a reminder, the person should not feel that you are after them. So always it should be gentle reminder, and it is just creating that you are still feeling interested in their purchase decision and you care for them. Again, I said value addition, keep on doing. Then feedback request. Suppose if they already purchased your product, always immediately ask, sir, do you face any problem? Have you faced any kind of difficulty? Do you require our help? Can you send our service person or somebody or any kind of thing? So always encourage person or people to give their honest feedback on this, and this feedback will be used for the next customer as a testimonial, and maybe perhaps that will help in further sale. And limit the frequency. I said don't overwhelm customers by following up. So keep a limited frequency of follow. Overcoming objection with psychology, right? Okay, active listening, empathy building. Yeah, okay, let me uh, read one thing which objection kind of thing. Uh, Most of, see, I have conducted one webinar, not actually, it's a seminar, just couple of days on a similar kind of topic. So then this topic was their objection of customer and their psychology. So active listening and empathy, something like that. When you talk to customer, he always say, "Sir, I'm not sure if this product is worth the price." That means his objection is on a price. That is quite natural. So your price is higher, but now customer has created this a point of objection. Then how you can say, sir, I understand the price is a key factor, but many customer had a similar feeling. But once they start using, they understand the long term value. So initial maybe you feel price is high, but the long term value what you receive out of it is much higher. So I think it will offset the price. So you show concern to their objection. You are not totally ruling out, but you show acceptance to their concern and then say, this is how it is. Okay. Then this is again empathy. That means you are trying to understand their concern. Reframing. Reframing, I feel it's very powerful psychological tool. It will see you have to reframe what they are saying and change their objection or the perspective of their objection to the positive side. See, like somebody say, some customer will say, I don't think we can offer this right now, right? So if somebody say off directly on your face, then what you can say, sir, I know the budget is also an important thing, but some of our customer also realize this thing, but later they found that they get their investment in this, whatever value they invested, they get it very quickly. That means ROI is very fast. It could be ROI in terms of suppose if they are using some software or application, maybe the speed of application or the convenience of that. So the people are throwing the objection, but even though you think that the objection is right, or sometimes objections are not valid, but you cannot rule out. You have to pick up that thing. You have to show agreement to this, but convert or reframe the objection so that they feel absolutely kind of. Then solution focus. Solution focus, I would say, somebody say, I'm worried. I think this will not fit into our current process, right? Then what you can say, yes, sir, I understand. Maybe this is a new product. You are not actually accustomed to that. But don't worry, we will send our team. They will train you and they will show you. And this solution will definitely solve your problem and save your time, maybe save the price or something. So, the people have the anxiety or apprehension about something to try new, but you should be ready. So don't worry, our team will be there unless and until you feel confident. They will be with you, they will be working, they will streamline the operation, something of that kind of thing. So that means you are giving a solution kind of an approach, right? And follow-up strategy, as I said, it is same. What how we follow up like this. So this is objection is very important. So many time it will happen that when you approach your product with your product and services to any of your future prospects, objection will definitely come because you are unknown, your product is unknown. but this is how you have to, understand the psychology and can overcome the objection, right? This is again very important. When I work with startup, always I say you don't have to lose connection with your customer even after the sale is over. Always acknowledge small wins. Celebrate every milestone. Suppose he purchased, say thank you note. Suppose if he give feedback, again appreciate and acknowledge. Again, do a personalized message, keeps on, and give some kind of shout out on the social media. Sometimes you have to offer some kind of token appreciation, to create or strengthen our relationship. And depending upon the loyalty by celebrating milestone. That means if you get the repeat business from them, always try to show acknowledgement with them. Or suppose if you have so many customers have done a repeated business, you try to project on social media. So every time anything between you and your customer happens, you have to celebrate and celebrate for your customer. That means they should feel they are cared, they are acknowledged, they are appreciated. This is very important, right? Again, creating an engaging sell content. I said storytelling is one of the best technique. Either it could be story of your customer, story of how you landed into the product, how you form your startup, or how this product has evolved, how the idea of this product, all kind of thing. Because we are human being and we understand figure and facts less than the story. We understand story and we get connected with the story very fine. Again, on this, I have something about the engaging sales content. I always say before actually make a sales content, you have to understand your customer. Unless and until you understand your customer, what are their needs, what are their desire, what are their fear, what are their pain point. If you know this, then maybe you can design your sales content in line with their requirement. That could be another thing. Tell story, yes, that's fine. Then create a sense of urgency, right? Limited time offer, the offer lasts for 24 hours, offer ends on today midnight, something kind of thing. So that is also kind of a sales content which is getting engaged with this, right? Whatever visuals, suppose if you are creating a visual, that visual has to be absolutely appealing, because before they read the message, before they read caption, the first thing they see is the image, and that image or visual get connected with your customer first, then your message second. So your visual has to be absolutely appealing, right? So this is the some kind of engaging sales content. Again, same thing. I've just created a different title, Understanding Service Sales Psychology. Because we're talking about product now, we talk about the service as a product. Again, emotional engagement, personalized interaction. Again, clear value proposition. If you buy my product, this is what you are benefited. This is how you are going to benefit. So it's a clear value proposition will make customer also clear about what they are going, how they are going to benefit and what they are going to get in return, right? I always say for everything, unless there is a customer, you are not in business. Your business is not a business. So everything has to be customer centric. So everything what you do for your business, keep customer in a center, right? So again, listen actively. Again, do a personalized kind of communication. This is how the customer centric approach. Most of the people don't understand the importance of customer feedback. Many times I always say you should attend praise later than the complaint. Complaint has to be attended absolutely quick and fast, right? So collect the feedback regularly, analyze the trends, how the feedback, whether the product is performing well or whatever promises you have given, whether the customer is really finding that promise, and act transparently. Everything communication has to be absolutely feedback and everything has to be taken positively and responded transparently, right? Okay, this is very important. I think this slide is, see, again, when you are in business, how do you find that what you are doing actually creating an effect? How do you measure? So one, these are the metrics, response rate. What is response rate? It is a very essential metric. How many people are responding to your follow-ups, right? That means number of responses divided by number of follow-ups into 100 is a percentage. So 20% means only 20% of the customer, 20 customers of out of 100 is actually responding to your follow-up. So this is a very important metric. What is conversion rate? Conversion rate means after the customer response, number of follow-ups, what you do it, how many responses is getting converted into a sales. So that is a conversion rate. That is also very important. Then time for conversion. You should know from the inquiry, then the follow-ups, then the decision and the purchase. What is the time that you have to see? If it is taking too much time, then you have to absolutely revisit and restructure your strategy. So if it is more than 4 weeks, 4 weeks is just an arbitrary figure I have taken. Some cases it could be 3 weeks also, 2 weeks also, 1 week also, depending upon the kind of business you are into it. But this is again a very important metric. If previously it was taking only 2 weeks and now it is getting to 3, 4, 5 weeks, then it is an alarming situation, right? And follow-up time, when you should do follow-up. First initial engagement to the first, within 24 hours you have to do. So this is how it is, right? Go to the next. I think we are coming almost close. These are the mistakes you have to avoid in doing follow-up. Timing has to be there. Don't don't follow up after a long time a customer has made visit to your shop or your uh, store or something. So timing has to be absolutely fine. Make personalized. Don't make a generalized kind of messages. Consistent follow-up has to be there. Not that one follow-up today do and then after 3 months, by the time the customer has already made his decision for some other product. And clear call to action. When you are talking about the uh, follow-up, you should have your call to action in your mind, that what exactly you are, how you are making customer to take action on this. So that strategy you should have it. If you just keep following up customer without any call to action strategy, then it is an open-ended form, right? Again, what will be the future trends in cell psychology? I think after AI has come, uh, you cannot imagine what kind of trends will come into it, but AI will be definitely included, and AI integration will open many avenues. People will also try to understand the emotional aspect of the customer, and they will do the emotional analytics and then make a sales strategy based on their emotion. And social proof utilization, people will use social proof so much in a such a, you cannot imagine also how the social proof will be imagined, and you will be forced or pushed to take your purchasing decision. So these are the thing. Only few have it, but once you say AI will penetrate in any area, and I think future trend in sales psychology will be something which is beyond our imagination as today, right? Again, this is a just a sum up of this. Sustainable state, you have to have a customer focus, understanding their needs, create a value proposition for them, then create effective communication, that is in a persuasive language, call to action, that means make customer to go for a purchase decision, building a trust once the product is given or delivered, the product has been sold. Then regular follow-up has to be there, and what your performance metric, that means how your product or service is doing, and you have to keep this metrics, because that will make or break your product or your company or your brand. So this is very important, right? So key takeaways, again, it is only a summary. Understand customer needs, build trust and rapport, use effective follow-up techniques, leverage psychological triggers. Always you should know which is the, it may vary from customer to customer. Don't apply same technology or same kind of things to everyone, because customer psychology different from people to people, right? Okay, this is my connection, or maybe this is my contact details, and these are my two books if somebody is more interested. One is Entrepreneurial Blueprint. This is about startup challenges, the first book. Second book is a framework for the startup founder, 12 key strategies for startup success. This both books are available on Amazon. right? And now I'm open for Q&A. I think little
Uh,
bit overshoot the time, right?
yes, sir. I think most of the things are covered already, and
Yeah,
I don't think so. Ki questions are raised in this session, but I have a small question, sir. Ki,
sure.
when should a salesperson decide to stop following up? Means, what is the highest we can say? Ki when a salesperson decide to stop following up any person or any client?
See, there are two aspects of it.
Ji.
Uh, Suppose if you are doing an online sale, right, then this
Hmm.
scope is not available because you actually are not getting connected one-on-one to your customer. But suppose somebody you are selling a product and customer is directly buying from you, right? So customer gives lot of signals. Oh, I forgot one slide. I think I have not prepared. That is about the signals. What customer different signals customer gives actually. So that is very. I think thank you very much for bringing this point because anyway I will summarize that also. So at different level, customer gives different kind of signals, right? Suppose if you call and after couple of call also customer don't respond. Suppose he doesn't pick up your call when he was interested, he was lifting your call immediately. Second stage comes when you call, he may not pick up because he thinks, oh, you will be following up. But then he may call after maybe a day or so, oh, you called up for something, and then you say, yeah, I was following up for this. No, no, right now I have not made a decision. I'll still require some time or something. And third signal when he gives that even after multiple call, he will not respond. That is for the personal call, right? Second, if you do WhatsApp messages, right, you can nowadays people know the blue tick comes, that means somebody has read the message. But if you send multiple messages, he will not respond. You can see that he has read your message, but he's not responding. That is also one of the single signal. If you are doing email campaign, if you are doing email campaign, so you
Hmm.
write email but he's not responding, then you write second, sir, at least one line in response whether you want to continue or whether should we follow up, still he's not responding. And third time you will get a signal, he will unsubscribe your email. So that means he showing a very clear cut that now this customer need not be followed. But there are certain things even the salespeople make a mistake because salespeople nowadays, if I see young people, they don't have a patience because they feel the way they are making a sales call and sales follow up, they think that is a right way, right? So I
Hmm.
feel the first level sales engineer when he gives up, he should transfer that customer inquiry to his higher up, and then he start looking at everything the customer response and customer signal in a different perspective, and maybe he can create again a interest. But young people, they want everything quick and fast because they are target oriented. They suppose they think that if it is not that I stop following up. So when you have this kind of thing, your sales guy also have to pass on this to a senior guy and let senior guy make a decision whether to give up or not to give up. So these are the customer signals.
Yes.
You should read it.
Okay, and then whenever a startup uh, just following the investors or investor meetings, so how a startup can take
Yeah.
follow up with the investors only?
See, first thing, suppose if the investor is totally unknown to you, right?
Yes.
Some investors are very sensitive people because they get little, annoyed if some startup trying to follow them up because they try to understand that by creating a personal connection, you are trying to influence the decision. So many startup founder when they approach investor unknown stranger, uh, they get annoyed and they even without understanding anything they just remove those kind of startups from their mind because they feel annoyed. So that is not okay. But suppose you have already pitched to investor, that means investor has a first hand connection with you and you have first hand connection with the investors and the startup, I mean either way. That time you can follow up saying that, sir, I have pitched it.
Mhm.
I know I have a lot to learn, but can you at least send me a feedback of that where I have to improve upon so that when I
Yes,
pitch to the next investor, I don't commit the same mistake I committed with you, even though you
yes,
don't know what mistake you have committed. So then he will open up, no, 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 you have not committed mistake. Maybe he will give his feedback. Maybe he will say, but kind of startup you have, I don't invest in this kind of startup. Maybe I invest only in pharma startup or only tech startup. So this is how you can follow. You cannot follow up, sir, what happened to my pitch? Am I getting investment or not? No, that is not the way. You always politely say, sir, I just want to your feedback, your impression about my pitch. Maybe it is not up to the mark, but I want to have an improvement feedback so that I can improvise or I can refine my pitch. That is why. Then that is how you create a dialogue with them.
yes. That can be
This
a
is how you
positive,
should.
yeah, that can be a positive way
Yes,
to take feedback or
yes,
some connections
yes.
with them.
Yeah,
Yes,
but investor, my this thing, unless you pitch them once, if you know each other at least for once formally, don't try to call any investor or try to follow up any investor. It will create a negative impact.
yes. And sir, one more thing, can you suggest please any platform, any tools so that for a startup so that they can use that tools and platform for this type of technique or follow up techniques? Any?
I I always say that if some people are
Mhm.
uh, inclined for reading and learning,
Yes.
then on there is one platform called Medium. I think
Hmm.
people are aware or not. But Medium has lot of articles from investors, from founders, successful founders, success. So they have so much. I think more than I think 10 lakhs of articles or blogs are there. So if
Okay.
somebody can become a member and become a free member, don't become a paid member because you are not going to write blog. So it's okay. If it is a free membership, you can go through all the articles and the insights given, the practical insight that you will not find anywhere in any webinar, in any seminar, in any books. Because those are the people in a very small article, maybe 3 minutes read or 4 minutes read article, they have
Yes.
given absolutely practical insights, and that is very important. So I suggest every startup founder, if you can read articles, and there is a category you can search, you can say startup. So all the articles related to startup. Then you say startup funding. So all startup funding related are. Then you say startup lessons. That means what are the lessons I have learned. All so you can categorize and then you can do this.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for telling this type of
This
platform because this is
this
very
is very good.
useful for the startup. Yes.
I'm
So,
I'm also on Medium and people became a member. They can go through. I have also I think more than 200 articles there. Perhaps
oh,
if they go through, they will also get a lot of insights of the startup.
yeah, that's very nice, sir. Definitely, we will recommend to all starters that they should
Yeah,
go to the particular platform and they can use that. So,
people
yeah,
should
so
read,
yeah,
read,
people should,
read. That is the best learning tool.
yes, yes, sir.
Everybody,
So,
see, I've worked with so many startup founders, but they are averse for reading. They don't read books, they don't read magazine, they don't read articles. They think that it is not required. They just think whatever I want, I search on Google, maybe it is perfectly okay. But that's not the way.
so they should read all the things properly.
All the time, all the time.
Yeah. So I think most of the things are already covered, and I think this session is a wonderful session till now. And most of the startup have cleared their doubts regarding the at least how to approach the customer and how to just take the feedback and all. So thank you so much, sir, and for everyone being a part of this session on this sales technique and customer engagement. So these are the sales technique which you can follow, and how to take feedback. The startup can easily understand with the platform which already Nitin sir told you. So a special thanks to Mr. Nitin sir for sharing your expertise and offering
My
the valuable insights on the startup community. So we
my
hope,
pleasure. I always
yeah,
enjoy.
yes. So I hope that all the startup will follow that platform and your guidance in their startup strategies. So thank you once again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next upcoming session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Bye bye.
much.